Hey guys, today I'm diving deep in the process Angela and I went through to choose the manufactured home dealer for our brand new home. Outside of choosing to build a new home, this is the single biggest decision you will make along this journey, or at least it's the most important. This is not just about picking a house, it's about finding a partner you can trust to make your dream home a reality. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps we took, the priorities we set, the lessons we learned, and share our biggest red flag moment. If you're thinking about buying a manufactured home, stick around. This is going to help you avoid some pitfalls and make a smart choice. Step 1, manufacturers and floor plans. The first step in our journey was to find our perfect floor plan. We did this by searching out manufactured home companies and seeing if they covered our region. If they did, we then dove into their floor plan listings to explore options. If you follow our channel, you saw our house tour videos we shared as we went through this process. It's important to know not all manufacturers operate in every region, and not every dealer carries the same floor plans. We spent weeks researching online, scrolling manufacturer social media posts of new homes, and watching tons of virtual tours and videos to help narrow things down. After many hours of research, we found the Clayton Homes Tahoe model home. It had the open living areas we wanted, a spacious eat-in kitchen for family gatherings, and just the right number of rooms for all of our needs. Choosing this floor plan also locked us into working with Clayton Homes as our manufacturer. Step 2, road trips and dealer recon. Once we had the floor plan, we used Clayton's website to find dealers in our area. Living in East Tennessee, we're fortunate to have a bunch of Clayton dealers within a 1 to 2 hour drive of where we live. I also cross-referenced with Google Maps to see where these dealers were located and read reviews to get a sense of their online reputation while taking that with a grain of salt. Make sure you check out Google reviews and even local forums to see what people are saying about the dealers. It's a great way to spot red flags early. With our personalized list of 4 to 5 dealers, we then called to see if they even had the Tahoe model on their lot. Thankfully, most all of them did, which was a huge bonus, but also not a requirement for picking the dealer, since this was really all about picking our team. That being said, there's something special about walking through a model home. It helps you visualize living there. You're able to get a real sense of the size and learn so much more than floor plans or online model visual videos can ever tell you. Along our travels, we saw the Tahoe home in a few different color configurations, kitchen layouts, and other options. Keep in mind that even if a dealer doesn't have your exact model on display, don't worry too much. You can still work with them and pick your options when the time comes. With our digital legwork done, it was time to hit the road. We planned a series of road trips over a couple of weeks to visit locations. Some days we hit one location, others we squeezed in 2 if they were close or along the way. The longest trip we took to see a home was down in Alabama, but that may have also been an excuse to take our RV on a little road trip. Step 3, grill 'em. Now let's talk about our game plan and tactics we took at each dealer lot. Since we were dead set on the Tahoe model, we weren't too worried about customization options like colors or fixtures for our first visit. Our focus was on finding a dealer who could handle the unique logistics of our project, understood our needs, timeline, and give us a sense of security if we choose to use them. We were also there to get a quote on the home, but I'll cover that in a few seconds. What we found from these visits is that apparently we're special. We're building a new home right next to our current single-wide mobile home where we live. We're going to stay in our home as long as possible during the construction, but we'll also be moving into our RV towards the end so we can remove our single-wide before finishing out the new construction phase. This means we have existing utilities in place, but they also need to remain intact as long as possible. Safe to say, we aren't exactly a cookie-cutter project, so we needed a dealer with experience and someone who understood our vision, and we also gave bonus points to those who immediately said they had done something like this in the past. As we visited dealers, we quickly saw a wide range in expertise. At one lot, we met a rep who was pretty much a walking encyclopedia with manufactured home construction. She answered every single question we threw at her with confidence and detail. From foundation types to home options, manufacturing timelines, contractors, you name it, she was on point. But not every stop was like that. At another dealer, I asked about block foundation options, and the guy just gave me a blank stare like I just asked him to solve a quantum physics problem. I then tested him further by asking about specific upgrades that I already knew were available, like taller walls, but he said, "I don't know if that's available," and then didn't offer to check. Those moments weren't immediate deal breakers, but they sure helped to paint a picture of what lengths the person was willing to go through to earn our business. Okay, I'm circling back to the quote section now. In our experience, you will visit the dealers in person, talk with them a bit, maybe even tour the house together, but really what you're there for is to try and get a sense if you want to bother getting the person to get a quote for you on the home. In order to get a quote, they'll need some basic info from you, like your name and email, along with the options and needs you have for the home and the setup of your home. After this, it'll take a few days to hear back. I had everyone email me their quote, and I was honest with them and upfront, telling them that we were traveling around to several different dealers, getting quotes from everyone to pick the ones we wanted to use. Step 4 is all about pricing. Consider it, but not just consider it. I know what you're thinking. Price is everything, right? It all comes down to the cheapest quote. Well, not for us. Don't get me wrong, we're not rolling in cash. This was a huge expense, and we have a budget we got to work with. However, I'm a firm believer that you get what you pay for, especially with something as major as a brand new home, and cutting corners to save a few bucks could mean headaches down the road. Leaky roofs, shoddy installations, you name it. We wanted quality and peace of mind over the cheapest deal. Let me pump the brakes here real quick to talk about quality in a manufactured home, or rather, the assumption you can't get quality from a manufactured home. In order to gain the business of most anyone and their budget, most all manufacturers offer different levels of homes in terms of construction, features, build quality, and therefore price. You can get the cheapest model and end up with just that, a cheap model. At the same time, you can get a high-end model and get components that are of the same quality as stick-framed homes. It all boils down to what you choose. Don't assume all homes are equal, even from the same manufacturer, because they aren't. Be sure to do your own homework and find what fits you or your budget best. Okay, let's get back to the money talk now. Most Clayton dealers quoted us very similar prices for the Tahoe model with our chosen options. The quotes varied by a few $100s, but nothing crazy between them, except for one. We got a quote from an independent dealer in Eastern Kentucky that was $40,000 cheaper than any of the others. $40,000. At first we were thrilled, but mama didn't raise no fool. I've learned that if something seems too good to be true, it usually is. I emailed the rep back to confirm the quote included all our requested options like block foundation, the decks, and the stuff like that. The response I got back was a one-line email saying, "Yep, that's everything." No spec sheet, no breakdown, no reassurance. Opting to give him a second chance, I replied with a detailed list of our options again, asking to confirm and give us a quote. 2 weeks later, I got another short email that said, "Yes, that's everything." Still no details, no line items, no spec sheets, and by then we'd already met the dealer we ended up choosing, so we weren't too hung up on that. But that lack of communication and transparency screamed trouble to us. We weren't willing to risk our project on a lowball quote that might come with hidden costs or sloppy site work. The risk was not worth the appearance of a reward to us. Our choice, Clayton Homes of Newport, Tennessee. After all the visits and emails, we chose Clayton Homes of Newport, Tennessee. And let me tell you, we can already tell it was the right call. From the moment we walked into their office, the staff was warm, welcoming, and incredibly knowledgeable. The rep we worked with, Christina, is an absolute rock star. She answered every question from delivery to foundation options, house customizations, and even the dreaded timeline questions with confidence and in great detail. And it wasn't just her knowledge, but also the way she made us feel like our project immediately mattered, even though we were just walk-ins from off the street that day. As I'm making this video, we're honestly about a month and a half after that initial visit. We've had multiple emails, phone calls, texts, and visits to the office, and every single time I reach out, and trust me, I've reached out a lot, she's been right there to help and then some. Last week, we just closed on our home loan, and Clayton Homes of Newport has continued to impress us. Choosing them over the cheaper Kentucky dealer has given us total confidence that our forever home is in good hands. Final thoughts and tips. All right, let's recap the steps we took. Step 1, pick a floor plan you love, narrow down your manufacturer, and then find local dealers to go visit. Step 2, visit those dealers to see the models in person and meet the staff. Step 3, look for expertise and a sense of trust. Find someone who gets your vision and has the experience to pull it off. Step 4, consider pricing, but don't let a lowball quote trump quality and reliability. If you're starting this process, here's my advice to you. Put in the legwork. Visit multiple dealers, even if it means a long drive. Ask the tough questions. Ask about their experience, their process, even their backup plans if something goes wrong. Check online reviews, and don't be afraid to walk away if something feels off. This is a huge investment, and the more research you do, the better position you'll be in. If you're enjoying our journey of building our new manufactured home, be sure and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our videos. We're documenting every step, and as a treat for sticking around with me to the end, I'm really happy to tell you we've got something special coming up. A behind-the-scenes tour of the Clayton Homes factory to show you exactly how these homes are built and hear all about the process. If you got any questions about the process, be sure to drop them down in the comments below. We read every single comment and we try to reply to as many as possible. Otherwise, take care, and we'll see you guys in the next video.